Gigi Hadid has been arrested. She's gone to jail. Her career is basically over. She is no more. Or at least that's what the news articles that I'm reading are making it sound like. But is it really that deep? Let's find out. So if you haven't heard this yet already, and I would be surprised if you haven't, because it's trending on pretty much everything. Gigi Hadid has recently had a run-in with the Cayman Island courts. So she was arrested after weed was found in her luggage while she was on holiday to the Cayman Islands. A representative for Gigi has said that she was travelling with, let's call it, the devil's lettuce that she legally purchased in New York City with a license. So she was travelling to the Cayman Islands for a holiday. She took her private jet, and then their plane and their luggage was searched by custom officials where they found this devil's lettuce. They then got arrested and then subsequently bailed out. 2 days later, Gigi and her friend were formally charged during a court appearance where they pleaded guilty and they was both fined $1,000 and left with a clean record. So basically they got a little bit of a slap on the wrist. And this is like typical Nepo baby, right? You come from like a famous, wealthy family, you've got a private jet, you think you can just do whatever you want. You know, "Oh, I'm going to take whatever I want on holiday with me because I'm Gigi Hadid and I can do whatever I want." And that sounds like I'm going in hard a little bit on Gigi. I actually really like the girl. I'm a big fan of Gigi Hadid. Truth be told, I didn't know much about her. But when she was hosting Next in Fashion, I thought she did a fantastic job. I think hosting a show is a talent that is vastly underrated. I think it's difficult to achieve, difficult to do well, which she did. I think she came off real nice in that. So I have no quarrels with Gigi Hadid, but it does go to show her upbringing that she thinks she can get away with doing this. That being said, I'm sure she is quite humbled. Her younger sister is probably more famous than her, and she does the exact same thing that she does. So that's got to be quite humbling when a younger sibling is outdoing you on your own thing. Now, what I find interesting about this is the Cayman Islands, if you don't know, is basically a tax haven. If you're wealthy, it's where you put all your money in order not to be taxed, which the Hadid family probably know well and probably do, right? It's what all the wealthy people do. So chances are she was going to the Cayman Islands on holiday, yeah, but she was also probably just checking on her money and how her money's doing. So her getting fined, first of all, $1,000 to Gigi Hadid is basically nothing, right? That's change to her. That ain't nothing. But if she was, let's assume she's using the Cayman Islands as a tax haven, probably is, then she's probably saved way more than $1,000 for that alone. So her getting fined $1,000, if indeed she is using the Cayman Islands to put all her money into, she's still in the profit, right? Cayman Islands still profiting. Now, I'm not saying she does do this. I'm just saying most wealthy people do. It's not absurd to think that she is doing this. But the thing is, all the news articles that I'm seeing are making this sound way, way worse than it is. I'm reading stories about how she's been sent to jail. Not really, she got a bit of slap on the wrist. I'm seeing stories about how all the headlines are basically Gigi Hadid arrested for drug possession. She's career ending. Crazy arrest. She's done some terrible things and now she's been arrested for it. She's in prison. She is in prison. And then you read them and realise, oh, she got caught with a little bit of weed, got a slap on her wrist, fined pretty much nothing to her, and then sent on her way. I read this one from LA Times, which is basically saying that it's career ending. Which brings me to a very interesting point. Is this going to impact her career? Yes. Is it going to impact it negatively? No. Positively? I think so. You see, in this day and age, this kind of arrest isn't really newsworthy, despite the fact it's trending on everything. Seems so pretty much you got to think about who her audience is, who her fan base is. Most of them probably indulge in the stuff themselves. So if anything, they're just going to appreciate it. And the fact that she's trending so much means that she's getting a lot of like free marketing. She's probably gained a bunch of new followers on her social media. Every article you read is tagging pictures from her Instagram because she's posting pictures of her on a holiday. If anything, maybe this whole thing is just a PR stunt for a bit of free marketing to get her name in the papers, get her name on all those online articles, and to get them all to link to her Instagram where she's sharing pictures of her holiday, which they are doing. So she's probably getting more followers. I mean, let's think about this financially, mathematically. She gets fined £1,000. She's £1,000 down, but she's been marketed now. She's got a name in the papers, some of the biggest marketing news outlets out there for free. And yes, all the headlines are bad, but the content isn't that bad because the content, when you look into it, is she got a slap on her wrist for having a bit of weed. So that's not that bad, and yet she's taken up all this airspace on the trending pages. So far, she's only had to spend £1,000 to get that marketing. On top of which, she's now got a bunch more social media followers. And what a brand's going to think? A brand's going to say, we don't want to work with this girl because of this arrest, because she's now a criminal. Are we not going to work with her? No, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, she's doing popular right now and this ain't nothing. So she's going to end up getting more brand deals worth way more than that. So all in all, this arrest has been a great success for her. She's going to make way more money from the arrest. And this is assuming that she's not using the Cayman Islands as a tax haven, which she probably is. So you got the tax money she's profiting off. You've got the marketing, and you've got future brand deals that are going to come to light. All this has been massively popular for her. Was this a PR stunt? I don't know. I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it's not. One thing I will note, however, is that you will not read in any of these news articles that the Cayman Islands is tax haven. And the reason they're not coming at that point, which to me seems like the biggest story here, the reason they will put any emphasis on that is because most of the people that own these news outlets, or the people who are high up in there, the CEOs, the CFOs, the COOs, the UFOs, they're all using the Cayman Islands themselves as tax havens, so they're not going to out someone else for doing it. What can I say? I'm not saying she's definitely using it as tax haven anyway, so that whole point is probably mute. It's just something to think about. What I am saying is I think this is going to be positively impacting her career in a great way. So fantastic for Gigi Hadid, this arrest.